Recording.
Report progress.
So it may be helpful for everyone to mute until we ask questions, but I want to welcome everyone to our monthly Business Connect meeting. This is really a partnership between the City of Hemet and the Hemet-San Jacinto Chamber of Commerce. This is an opportunity for the city to share updates on city topics. We have a number of city staff members present today. Monique Alanis Later, our Community Development Director, Ben Sandoval, our Economic Development Manager, our Police Chief, Mike Ariano, and our council member, one of our Mayor Pro Tem, Jackie Peterson. And today we're going to be spending some time with Christian Tikas. And Christian is the city's new Community Solutions Coordinator. This position is new to the city. We're grateful that a state grant is helping to pay for the first 2 years of Christian's salary. So we appreciate the fact that that's in place. But this is a really interesting position that's been added to the city that allows us to have some dedicated focus to issues related to quality of life. So Christian wears a number of hats. He's officially the city's ombudsman and can help troubleshoot issues. He is also going to be our lead on all things homelessness and homeless mitigation efforts, and also our C-Click Fix Czar. This is a mobile app that we use in the community to help identify quality of life issues that need addressing. So with that, Christian and I have worked together and have produced some prompts to get us started for a brief conversation this morning. We'll take about a half hour. And once we finish answering some questions with Christian, we'll open this up to any questions that members of our business community have for any of us. So Christian, welcome to the city of Hemet. You haven't been here too long, but I know you're familiar with Hemet. Let's begin by having you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Well, my background is that I am a Hemet resident again. My family moved to the Valley in 1990, and so I went to school out here, graduated high school in 1997 from Hemet High, and so I've been in the Valley for a while. We took a short stint in Orange County for like 10 years, between 2000 2010, and then ended up back in the Valley once again, out in the French Valley area for about 14 years. And then as of April, I moved back to Hemet. So I've done a lot of just outreach in the last 5 years or so in Hemet specifically. That's been kind of my wife and myself's passion to just come out here and help the individuals that need help, really. And quite a big demographic when it comes to that sort of stuff. So, but my main background for the last 20 some odd years has been in real estate, and so I was a broker and worked in commercial and all sorts of things. But housing has always been kind of my just my passion, making sure that people are able to fulfill that American dream of owning their own house or being in their own place. And so that was one of the reasons why when we started doing a lot of outreach, we saw that there was a big demographic that was needing housing, really, whether they were sharing space with family or literally being on the streets. We felt like we needed to just do something about it with the resources that we've had and the networks that we had established over the last few years. So I'm honored to do this. It's really just kind of along the same lines of what I've been doing for the last few years. And I'm really just excited that I get to just serve the city this way and really just be a partner with businesses, churches, nonprofits. I mean, it's one of those things where it takes a village, right, to help those that are in need. So I'm excited about this next chapter in my life. And just it's really gratifying just to do this type of work here. So you're on mute.
So we've given you several hats to wear. How are you approaching this challenge? And we're interested in kind of your approach to all things quality of life.
Sure. Well, I mean, obviously the challenge of homelessness and housing, it's big. It's something that I've yet to see anyone resolve 100%. And so I look at this challenge as just my approach is that I'm using a lot of the connections that I've already established to really connect and really establish more networking for the need that it is, whether it's bringing in housing opportunities through either shelters or even development and things like that. And so the housing issue is one of the components, but I think the greater challenge with a lot of the people that are experiencing these downfalls, it's really lack of community, lack of resources, and really being plugged in, within the right the right opportunities really for them. So that's been kind of my number one, I guess, plan of attack is to use my network and also expand it really and bring in whether it's funding resources, more programs, and of course whether it's donations or just as simple as just connecting people to the proper community, whether it's churches or groups, things like that. I feel like it's just casting out like a big net of really good resources that will help someone in their time of need. So I really approach it in that way, and I only can hope that the connections just continue expanding, and we're now working with other cities, our partner cities, and things like that to help curtail this issue together.
So, Christian, when we talk with our business community, there are often a lot of questions about what guidance do we have for them. Uh, let's jump to the third prompt here. What recommendations do you have for appropriate giving, and how can our business community help with some of these homeless type issues?
Well, yeah, and the issue is that when you're dealing with transients, the situations aren't always the same. Whether you're dealing with someone that has either a drug or alcohol dependency, whether they have some mental illness, things like that. So it's hard to say that either giving out a few bucks or feeding people in the park is going to be the resolution. And so in a lot of cases, I've seen that those things can actually even do more harm than good. And so I recommend that businesses either partner with some of the organizations that we have already doing the work, the boots on the ground. We have the city's hired an organization called CityNet that is doing the case management and the housing placement for these individuals. And so I know they need resources. I know if you're going to give to the organizations that are already doing the work, whether it's a nonprofit, a church, and even the city. I look at this way: we're going to become a really big resource for this as well, and so we're going to need to allocate those resources. And I think it's better when we understand the diversity and the complexity of the issues, how we can funnel in whatever the resource is, whether it's as simple as use clothing or use furniture or food or water, those type of items. And if money is the only way that some of these businesses want to help out with, that's another avenue, just donating to them so we can responsibly handle the resources correctly. And so that's really the only recommendation I have. And also educate yourself, really. If you're passionate about these things, volunteer time, get involved with some of these organizations that are out here doing that. And so you can really get further insight and into the complexity of what it is to deal with homelessness. Homelessness, again, is not just the problem of not having a home. It's really more complex than most people see from the outside, whether it's people walking around with, again, mental illnesses, to even I say broken hearts, people that are walking around in a state of just either hopelessness or despair. Those things can really change, and alter their actual living circumstances based on their mindset and their condition of their heart. So it's a very, very complex issue that I've yet to see other organizations, completely have it down. But we're all, I think, working together for the same cause, which is really to help those individuals that want help and that are asking for the proper resources, and really just to get them plugged into just community and relationships, basically.
In short, when we see people give to a homeless person on the street, that creates dependency and increases the probability that that person's going to stay there. And our
Mhm.
strong recommendation is that anyone, business community, residential community, gives to other organizations that uh, provide services. So let's talk a little bit about a situation where a transient is where we have a business that is experiencing a transient on their private property. Sometimes they see them in the morning, sometimes that's happening during the day, sometimes that happens at night. What's the city's advice to those businesses if they're experiencing some form of transient loitering on their property?
Right. Well, I think first of all, you need to assess the situation that you encounter this person, whether they're just, if it's something that's repetitive that's happening. Obviously, it's one of those things where they're just thinking that they have a place there that they can go and just be safe in a sense. Most of the time, that's what the either transient or homeless people are doing, is just finding a safe place to be. And so if you feel comfortable enough to approach and have dialogue with someone like that, it'll help you at least give you insight as far as their either state of mind. And so if they're as far as if they're awake and conscious and really having normal dialogue with you, then it's as simple as saying, hey, would you like some resources to help your situation. And the city is going to start providing some of those resources as handouts and things like that you can keep. So that will be something that we're gonna push to kind of resource all our businesses with having some of these little resource cards, and just we have a business toolkit that'll be launched next month that'll help you guys with a lot of these links and information. So again, if you feel confident enough and safe to approach the individual, then I think the bottom line, when a person sees that you care, right? That's when I believe that the change can start happening. But if you just see the outward appearance and just are either disgusted or turned away from it, they're going to automatically know that or feel that in a sense. So and again, if you feel unsafe, that's why we have the city net organization that's out here. They'll come out and assess the situation and even do an intake for the individual. And if it's a person that's truly unruly or acting even violent, then that's when we contact PD. And so it's really up to the individual to really assess the situation, whether the person is coherent and willing to have a normal conversation, to the ones that are really mentally disturbed. That's when you'll need the professionals to come in and really help out the situation. And we have some tools that we'll even talk about here that'll help kind of expedite these things as well, which I believe we're going to, it's what's going to help us with the curtailing these issues. I'm already noticing a change in the last, not even 2 months that I've been here, that it's helping and improving our quality of life here already.
Uh, Thank you for the feedback, both the communication efforts, but also we do want to make sure and it's clear that if there's a concern about safety, that our business community contact the police for assistance, and we will, as Christian mentioned, be providing the business community with a toolkit, contact information to CityNet and other resource providers next month. Now, if there is a trespass type of situation, there is something called a 602 form that the police
Right.
department has. We need to have that on file. A retail business would need to have a sign up, and that would allow the police to remove people from private property at times that they're, for example, not there or maybe not open. So that's something we
Right.
also pass along. Christian, let's talk about the one of the other hats you're wearing. We have a mobile app called SeeClick Fix. Can you describe to our business community what that is, how they can use it, and how it's helping us address quality of life issues?
Well, I do believe that SeeClick Fix is kind of a game changer for cities, especially that are experiencing things such as, illegal dumping, homeless encampments, even as simple as just shopping carts being abandoned, vehicles that are being left on the streets, graffiti. It's an amazing tool, and it's basically at your fingertips. Whether you use it on your mobile app, or you can actually put in a request on our website as well. And the whole purpose is really to give us notification. I mean, we're in a city of 90,000+ people, and we cover quite a lot of space where a lot of our public works individuals, police, and whatnot. We're not in every corner of this city. So this allows you, the businesses, the public, the citizens to really, when you see something that's just not quite right, it gives you an opportunity to report it. Again, if you see graffiti, things like that, the app allows you to take a picture of it, and with the GPS coordinates of the actual photo, it'll log it where it was taken, and it'll allow you to put in a brief description. And once you submit it, it notifies the appropriate departments of the issue, whether again it's graffiti, trash. This past few months, we've been dealing a lot with weed abatements for lots that have had overgrown weeds, things like that, and of course homeless encampments. And that I've utilized that to notify the proper personnel, which is our CityNet street team, and of course our PD when you come into circumstances like that. So if you feel really in a place where you're not confident enough to step in and maybe talk to these individuals, it's just as simple as you taking a picture of wherever that location is, and it'll notify us literally immediately. And I tend to monitor a lot of these requests just to see the efficiency of our departments as far as how they're handling them. But so far, CityNet's been really responsive. They'll go to a homeless encampment request within the hour, actually, and really just kind of assess the situation with the individuals. They know if the individual is unruly and just not being very cooperative. PD is the next best bet, basically. So it's a great tool. I've seen other larger cities really use it and utilize it. And my job is going to be, again, to really help bring the education in regards to how to adequately use it, and to really get our citizens, our businesses, just with helping, And I know it's going to create a lot more requests, but at the same time, we're all working for that common goal of just a better quality of life here. So it's going to be a very important tool that's going to help just continue the progress of our city. I'm really excited about being able to harness the power of that tool and really just again resolve some of the issues that we have that might be plaguing our city.
I love the way it can leverage our community, and everyone's eyes are helping to address these concerns and allow us to get to things faster. So thanks for
Yes.
that. It's now about 8:25. I want to pause and see if there are any questions. We have representatives of economic development, the police department, community development planning, and Cindy with the chamber. I think Cindy is online still.
Yeah,
She
I'm
was
here.
Okay, so Cindy, also want to acknowledge and appreciate your partnership with us. And if you have any comments, we're happy to receive those too.
I think Dawn has a question though. She was raising her hand.
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to let you know that I go past the corner of Sanderson and Devonshire every morning on my way to work, and I missed that Rite Aid. I'm sad that they closed, for all of their business reasons and that. But at least the last couple of times that I've driven past there, including today, it was so noticeable on how clean that lot looks. And lots of other people know that it's closed and that, and usually those are the ones that kind of start getting attention by campers, so to speak. And I just love how clean that place is. And I know we've got some other businesses that are in transition and the buildings are up for sale and that sort of thing, but I know that's a lot of hard work. But that's a huge visibility thing right there on on the main drag, Sanderson coming into town and that. And I appreciate that it's really cleaned up. So I think that someone's doing a bunch of extra work, and I super appreciate it, just as a a homeowner in Hemet and that. So it is noticeable that things are going good.
Sure. Thank you for that comment.
Yeah, I also just want to chime in and thank you, Christian and Mark, for honestly, this is a new resource for businesses. Christian, I love that you kind of steer the direction of the conversation and how we think about those experiencing homelessness. But more importantly, when we can't, because I'm going to be honest, I can't always approach those that are around our property. I know most of you know that we're kind of in the middle of town on San Jacinto Street, but with SeeClickFix, we get the support we need very quickly. And there's an empty lot in front of us, and it's either completely empty or you can see it start to build up. But when I use SeeClickFix, I don't have a heavy heart, because I know that we're offering resources and we're trying to educate people on what we have for them to help them get to where they need to be. And also with this resource of the handouts, I want you to be able to speak at our networks, because we have to continue the conversation. I guarantee you, every time you go somewhere for the next 6 weeks, they're all going to hear this as news. They hadn't heard it yet. They didn't know. So we have to keep the conversation going. And at the chamber, we want to do that. So in the chamber chat, you should be talking about it every month, attending the networks and talking about it. We can even have you as a presenter to many, many of them. So I appreciate the conversation and the forward momentum that the city of Hemet is working on.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you for that.
I'm going to briefly plug 2 other business related items for the city, and then ask Ben Sandoval to talk a little bit about the Valley Kickoff this weekend. But first, just a reminder that we have a vandalism relief program. The city has put money to support our business community in the event they experience some form of vandalism. This is typically retail type businesses, helping with windows, graffiti, broken doors, windows, things like that. And secondly, we are bringing to the city council next Tuesday a facade improvement program. The city council has appropriated $450,000 for this program. The vision is one large shopping center, and feedback from our planning commission will be recommending to the council up to $30,000 for a business exterior facade improvements with only a 5% match. There's going to be funding in next year's budget as well that would allow for 8 businesses in what we're calling the downtown specific plan area, essentially. So think Florida between about State Street and San Jacinto, and down about a quarter mile to the north end of the south. So if you have a business in that area, this is going to be the target area. The shopping center is any large shopping center, and the recommendation will be to allow the aggregation of the funds for the large shopping center from the current year budget as well as next year's budget. So that program requires a 20% match, but we're hoping to help refresh one of our larger but distressed shopping centers. So we have a few of those in the valley. We're hoping that this program will help them go through a renaissance. So with that, Mr. Sandoval, will you briefly talk to us about the Valley Kickoff event this Sunday?
Absolutely, sir. I know we're short with time, so this only take me 3 hours, okay? So the Summer Valley Kickoff is this Sunday from 11 to 5. We welcome all of you to be there. We're going to have about 60 vendors, food trucks, a car show, a small little business expo as well for all the entrepreneur and small businesses. We're going to have the mayor as well, our supervisor. We may have the city manager at the dunk tank. I believe he's thinking about jumping in the water, but we'll see if that's the case. But overall, it's really a day to bring excitement, really account collaboration, and really building on that P3s, the private-public partnership, and something that we're looking into, and building the momentum for the Hetman Business Roundtable on July 11th. So all of you businesses as well are welcome. I can touch more on that at the next one, but we look forward to seeing everyone on Sunday for the Summer Valley Kickoff. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Let me pause and see if there are any other questions from our attendees today. Let's jump right in if you have a question. Okay. Let's see, Christian, why don't we have you put in the chat your contact information real quick before we leave? But we really appreciate everyone's participation this morning. We record these meetings and we place them on our YouTube channel. What we're going to be doing is sharing that with the chamber, and Cindy will have an opportunity to email a link out to her membership for those that are unable to attend. But we do these once a month for about a half hour. And again, grateful for everyone's participation today. Thank you very much. And Christian has his contact information there. Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.